Good afternoon, everyone. I've had the pleasure of being able to bring on my guest for today. Um, we both went to Lincoln University. Lincoln just had its Founders Day on April 29th. And this young lady has done a lot of great things within the community, has had some major roles on TV, as well as an author now. Um, My name is Calvin Samuel. I'm the CEO of Aim to Succeed, where we believe that you plant yourself and cultivate success. So I'm going to allow her to introduce herself right now. Tell us a little about who you are, where you're from, and things that you've done.
Hey, thank you, Calvin. My name is Aisha Saran. That's my stage name, Aisha Patterson. Those who know me personally, Saran comes from my second middle name. So that's what I call myself for the past few years. And I'm an actress, writer, now author, and model at times. I've done more so print, but also runway. I did for New York Fashion Week of 2020 before the pandemic hit for a local brand here in Philadelphia. So I'm also a teacher. That's my 9 to 5 job. Technically, it's never really until 5 o'clock. It's really like 9 to the weekend. But I'm a life skills teacher for special needs students at one of the mastery charter schools. So I try to, make time for myself when I can, but also I'm always in the community. So I've been out here for quite a few years. And I'm originally from Roslyn, PA. So if you're from Philly, you know where Willow Grove is. There's Willow Grove, there's Abington, there's Roslyn. I'm from Roslyn. And I've been living in Philly since 2013.
Nice. What are three words that you would use to describe yourself?
I'd say passionate,
Mm-hmm.
focused, and driven.
Okay. Second question. It's a two-parter. What is the name of your book, and what was the inspiration behind writing it?
Okay, so the book is called The Saran Strategy. So it comes off, a play off my stage last name, Saran. And I could say self-help or more so an empowerment book for Black women. And essentially the book's all about just me giving advice to other young women about things that can help their lives be better, can help them know their worth, remember their worth, and really shoot for the stars. A lot of it came from different friends I have, for example, that would always ask for my advice and I would give it. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to keep repeating this myself, I might as well put it in writing, So I decided to write it down, and I didn't want to have my name in it initially. I was thinking I was going to call it like the Goddess Guide or the Phoenix Files. All the cool names were taken already. So then I was like, well, Saran is not there. I said, well, it's a strategy. So I said the Saran Strategy. And of course, I bought the domain, so it doesn't exist except for me. So I decided to go that. But also in a way, it worked out for my own brand because it goes like the Saran Strategy. And everything I wrote about are things that I live by. And I feel like you have to be authentic when you write anything. So there's nothing I wrote in there that I don't do. So I figured, if you want to ask me, like when my friend said, teach me your ways, I said, okay, I'll put it in the book. So now you know.
Absolutely. And where will people be able to get a copy of this?
Yes. So I have actually a book signing coming up, not next Saturday, but Saturday after that, which is May 15th. Place I'm solidifying this week because me teaching is like, I haven't had time to really focus on that because I have to do my job. So it's like, I want to make time for that. But also it's also available on Amazon. If you just search the Saran Strategy, Saran, it should pop up. It's a picture of me animated, thinking in the pink bubble. Kind of looks like this. So it's available there, but also on my site. My site is www.thesaranstrategy.com. And then you can purchase it from there. It is not $20. And then, plus shipping and handling, because it's going to be shipped directly to you.
Okay. So be on the lookout for that, y'all. Make sure we go support. What was more challenging for you? Acting, modeling, or becoming an author, and why?
Becoming an author, definitely. For example, I was working on a movie I wrote for a while. And then when the pandemic hit, it kind of threw things off. So you got done like 85% of the film. But it was like, I wasn't sure how long the pandemic would last, and it affected us being able to go certain places because of just certain COVID regulations. So I just said, let's finish it where it is. We'll make the trailer, and I'm still waiting for that footage as of right now. But everybody got paid. We had to do whatever. So I really wrote the book because at that time I was a contractor at a school. I was a long-term sub for a kindergarten class. Then when the pandemic hit, it went from, okay, you're going to be off for 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks after that, then it turned out, okay, we don't need you anymore. So I had lost my job. So I lost my job, stopped doing my movie. And I said, well, I had this idea. So within me being, you know, unemployed, I wrote a book. I said, well, I mean, I got nothing else to lose at this point. Might as well try. And I'm sorry if I'm like slurring my speech. I have 2 cats right now. I'm cat sitting and my own, they're fighting. So the cats are literally fighting. So I just started like in the back. So they'll be fine. So, you know, for me, I have to find ways to like, you know, not get depressed. It's like things were happening. What can I be? How can I be useful, I should say. So that's what I did. And the reason why also I want to add about why it was harder to be an author is because when you're writing, you want to be able to really convey your message, but you want to make sure that what you're saying is being able to be received the best way. My personality is very direct. So even my publisher was like, Aisha, you can't say it like that. That can sound harsh to somebody. But the fact is also the Saran strategy is like, well, it is me talking. So I want it to sound as close to me as possible. So right. That's the more challenging part of being able to really convey myself through words if you're not able to hear my voice saying it.
Mm-hmm. I totally understand that. Why has inspiring other women become such a passion for you?
I've always been that way, I feel like. Ever since I was a little kid, honestly, I've always been very much a girl power kind of girl. And I even had some friends of mine, or even guy friends of mine, for example, they're like surprised because they know my personality. I'm very direct. There's a rough side to me, but I'm also little. I'm a 5'3" woman. So it's like, there's like a really dainty part of me, how I dress. You know, I tend to wear things that are very flattering or, you know, really vibrant colors. So for me, it's like, I never looked at myself that there's something wrong with me as a woman, or I need to be more like this. It's more so just respect me as I am. And I want other women to feel that same way. Because I see a lot of women, I know women who've, you know, been suicidal, who've been super depressed, who, you know, really forget who they are, trying to be what they think others want them to be. And no one else is doing that. So you're sitting here giving, you're not receiving anything. And to me, that's why a lot of us as women get really drained. So I want other women, specifically Black women, to understand that and to know that there's value. And also, I think we're so used to social media seeing all like the hashtags of Black Girl Magic, Queening, all these things, empowerment, but how many of us really believe that? You know, based on how we carry ourselves and what we expect from others. So I want women to understand that.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I really appreciate that. You mentioned this a little bit, but I'm going to ask it again. How can others follow you and keep up to date with what you're doing?
So I'm on Instagram and Facebook. My students tease me because Facebook's for old people. And now that I'm 30, they're like, Miss Patterson, you're old, we don't do Facebook. Okay. But mainly Instagram. I have my primary Instagram page, which is Miss_Saran9. So MISS_SARAN 9. And then also my new page for the book is The Saran Strategy. So all one word, THESARANSTRATEGY, all one word. And it's like maybe like under 50 followers right now. I have to really be on the page more to promote more and more things. It's going to start being a lot more posts soon, but you know, just to get started. But primarily my main page and then my book page. And also Facebook, I'm Aisha Saran on Facebook.
Okay. Any lasting words for the audience, especially those who may be like, hey, you know, I want to become an author, or I want to venture into this field. How do I go about doing that?
Well, if you buy the book, you'll see. Like I talk about it, I talk about it in the book, because the book, The Saran Strategy, is the Saran Strategy, the Black Girl's Guide to Healing, Building, Branding. So I talk about that in the book as well. But I would just say be yourself. I mean, you have to be very, very focused on what you want to do, which is why I said my 3 traits, I would say. And also if I add a 4th, it would be resourceful. I'm very resourceful. But you know, if you have a passion and you know what you want to do and you're focused on that passion and you have to have that drive to do it, because there's going to be a lot of people to say you can't do it. There's going to be a lot of things you're going to be up against. Sometimes you're not going to want to do it. So you have to really know for sure, is this what I want? And then be willing to work for it, because you're going to get deterred every now and then. But if you know you have something that you need to say, or you feel it's valuable, it can help someone else, then put that groundwork in. But I think it's much better to put the groundwork in and get a big result than do something in a mediocre way and then you get mediocre results. So that's something about me. I'll put that work in. Because I'd rather have something of quality at the end than to like, you know, do something just to say I had it done. I want to do it right.
Is there any knowledge or tidbit from the book that you could share with the audience that you try to share anyway?
Oh, let me see if I go for it real quick. In regards to what, to branding, like a
Just any, line that might be sticking out to you. Like, let me just give him a little bit of a teaser.
oh goodness. Well, how about this? I do have a chapter that is called "Be a Bitch." And here's the last thing that it says, and let's be clear, my publisher and I went back to back because she didn't want me to say that title. She said, why not like be bossy? I said, no, be a bitch, because it gets your attention when it's said. I want that shock value for a reason. And it talks about what it actually means to be called that, especially as Black women. And I kind of dissect what the word means and all that kind of stuff. But the last thing I said in it, on page 40, it says, we give words power as people. So we have to decide if a word is going to have power over us or if we have power over it. Don't be afraid to be a bitch. And what that context means is that I talk about where the word's origins come from and why in many ways women can be called those. And more so is about if you're someone who's very focused and you're direct on what you want, you may be called that. That might happen. But are you going to sit here and hold yourself back just because of that word? Are you still going to like be driven and know what your end goal is? Like, hey, everybody's not going to like me, but it's about, do I like myself? So the book's very raw like that.
Okay. Well, I asked, answered, so it is what it is.
That's what it is.
It is what it is. That's why I go sometimes. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for blessing us with, your book and showing us a little bit and giving us some insight about how you are and what brought you towards where you are in your journey now. As we always say at Aim to Succeed, you want to plant yourself, cultivate success. And I hope that y'all have been blessed by this message. And y'all have a great day and have a great week.